Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new day of Road to TCG Worlds 2016, where this week we are featuring the Mega Sceptile Seismitoad EX deck that Takuya Yoneda used to win Japan Nationals. Now, so far we've done okay with this deck, I'd say. We did lose a very frustrating match on Monday, and yesterday in the Spanish video we were in a really close match, and towards the end of the game the PTCGO application crashed and I was not able to to finish up the game, so there were a lot of things going on. I made a mistake which might have cost us a game, depending on if my opponent had a Lysander or not, but it would have been very interesting for sure. Now, seems like we are up against a fire type deck, which is definitely something you do not want to see, especially going second. Or we might, maybe I saw Psychic. He has a fire type deck box, a fairy type coin, and a psychic type deck, perhaps. So if it is Trevenant, we might be able to get some mileage out of the promo Shaymin-EX we decided to include. There's a Shaymin, but we get no additional information about my opponent's play. The trainer's mail probably won't reveal anything too important, and I apologize if you guys can't hear the fan, but apparently I need to keep that on in order for, it is a psychic type deck, probably Trevenant. I do need to keep that on so that my computer will not crash. My computer is in its last stages. It is a bit older, so that's why. And it is Trevenant, and he's using the other Trevenant as well, so we got a pretty good hand, especially because my opponent will probably not be able to get the turn 1 Trevenant, and we should be in a pretty good position here. Okay, so he simply passes. Now, should I get rid of the Hex Maniac? Do I really want Seismitoad? Okay, I definitely want to bench the Shaymin, because that on its own will help us a ton against this deck. Now the issue might be retreating it, and now with the Ultra Ball I find Shaymin, but then what? Or I could find Hoopa as well. I guess removing the ability to attack for less energy is important here. Now, do I go Hoopa or not? Because Hoopa along with Shaymin are definitely liabilities. So it's either Shaymin. Yeah, I'm just gonna go for Shaymin. I do not want to... I genuinely do not want to... Wow. I reduce my own damage, or... Well, it doesn't really matter, because if I get 10 damage on Shaymin, it'll be in Sceptile EX range, and my opponent will definitely counter stadium me, so limiting his bench will also probably not affect him at all. And in case we do need more space, we do have the forest of giant plants. Now, well, I mean, I could... Okay, I bench Sceptile, attach the Spirit Link, and I Ultra Ball. I lose the Forest of Giant Plants either way, and I cannot afford not to attach an energy. So I'm gonna look for the Spinnerack. Could look for the Mew as well. Could definitely look for the Mew. But I'm mostly looking for energy. There are grass to attach to Sceptile, potentially float stones. Okay, so we get 2 Sceptile EXs. The grass... I guess starting off with Seismitoad is not too bad. I'm gonna Verse Seeker for the Sycamore. I mean, I can Verse Seeker for Hex Maniac as well. We should be okay here. Should be okay. My opponent has 2 cards in his hand. I don't know what he held on to last time around, because if he had nothing, he definitely should have gone for another Shaymin and not for the Phantom. Now, I don't want to end my opponent, but I also cannot afford to discard all of this, I don't think. Well, maybe I can. And I think I have to, actually. I'll go for it, I guess. Not ideal, but there's really nothing else I could have done. To get some energy, I even get a Forest of Giant Plants. I'm gonna attach the TCE so that I can potentially retreat if I need to. And I'm just gonna Quaking Punch here. Should have grabbed the Verse Seeker. I deal 10 damage only, which is pretty miserable. But KOing Shaymin-EX is still a 4-hit KO after this. Oh wow, actually I made it a 5-hit KO. But it's fine. Okay, so my opponent passes. Get to bench Sceptile. I get to start powering up Mega Sceptile. And I get to delinquent away whatever my opponent has currently in his hand. Doubt he's holding on to anything, but we shall see. We are about to find out. And yeah, my opponent's really bad start is definitely hindering him a lot. Compressor, Verse Seeker, and Stadium. So that's great, because even if we whiff the lock, we should be okay here. Even if we whiff the lock at some point, we should be okay. And yeah, looks like Seismitoad is putting in the work. Okay, top decks at Team Flare Grunt. Removes the TC. So now retreating is probably not an option, but it's also not the end of the world. I do have another energy, and I mean, there's really nothing we need to do, so I'm just gonna Quaking Punch for now. And my opponent's really limited to top decking supporter cards. He somehow top decks another Team Flare Grunt or something like that. Like, worst case scenario, he top decks a Lysander. That's worst case scenario for sure. I mean, I'd love to be attaching more energy to Sceptile, but I think I'm gonna save the Verse Seeker just in case I need to delinquent or something like that. Once my opponent accumulates 3 cards in his hand. The giant Forest of Giant Plants is not crucial anymore to us. It's really only crucial early on, maybe, so for now it's pretty much a non-factor. Okay, so he plays the Stadium, that's fine. No big deal. He retreats. He will prevent item cards now. He will prevent item cards for us as well. But it's really not the biggest of deals. I'm gonna counter Stadium to ensure he cannot like top deck an energy and have a Trevenant break and simply deal a lot of damage. He limits our trainers, we'll limit his trainers. And I mean, really not making a difference if we're playing Mega Sceptile Seismitoad or something like Seismitoad Giratina or Seismitoad whatever. And yeah, we won't be able to discard my opponent's hand, but in 2 turns we will KO the Trevenant. Shaymin is 10 away from getting KO'd. So my opponent really needs to top deck a Sycamore or an N or something like that. Now he did top deck something that's making him think. Could potentially be a Lysander. That could also definitely benefit him a little bit, but looks like that's not the case. So I'm just gonna Quaking Punch back. I can't do anything. Like, I have no energy, I cannot bench anything else, I cannot play item cards. There's no energy in my discard pile to use Fisherman with, so nothing going on. And I have a feeling, yep, we are going to pick our first win of the day with only Seismitoad. So what a deck. Now I don't know, I like the deck, and I think, like, I don't know, seeing the other top decks at Japan Nationals, there was a Seismitoad Greninja, there was probably Night March, there was probably maybe Greninja break deck, so Mega Sceptile should out of win those fairly easily. Seismitoad Giratina, not so clear, I guess. No, yeah, because the regular Sceptile can do a ton of damage. I don't know. In the right meta game, definitely an amazing call. In the wrong meta game, I don't know. Just based purely on the games we've been playing so far, the deck runs okay, but it's nothing out of the ordinary, I would say. Sceptile's low damage output is definitely limiting to a certain point. And now our opponent Will does get to go first, but that means we can potentially get a turn 1 item lock. We probably won't because I did start Sceptile, but get to attack, potentially poison something, and sleep it, and it's actually a Mega Alakazam EX deck. So it might be the opponent from the other day, which I believe we lost, won, not entirely sure. But it is Mega Alakazam Crobat, so our healing aspect of the deck should definitely prove important here. Him going first is definitely not ideal. I'll take my 2 mulligans here, and yeah, this should be a pretty difficult match, to be honest. Probably will be a really difficult match. He has the evolution spray as well, so he can use those on Golbats, Crobats, and potentially Mega Alakazams. So we might be in a bit of trouble here. Not sure how I like this matchup because Mega Sceptile doesn't 2-hit KO Mega Alakazam, so that's a problem. That's definitely a problem. And then we might have to rely on Ariados, but it only has 70 HP, so it's a really easy pickup for Golbat, Crobat, Mega Alakazam damage drops. I don't know. Seems a bit difficult, but my opponent doesn't do literally anything. Okay. I can Mega Evolve immediately. So I guess I'm gonna Ultra Ball both energy and then use the Fisherman, I guess. Gonna grab Hoopa, and yeah, Shaymin definitely also important for this matchup potentially. So the promo Shaymin. So hopefully we get to use it. Now the promo, I'm gonna grab a promo Shaymin, a Mega Sceptile EX, and the other regular Sceptile. I'm gonna attach the Float Stone to the Shaymin, I think. Yeah, to the Shaymin. Gonna use this Shaymin-EX, draw 2 cards. Very few, yes, but okay. Gonna attach an energy. Well, actually I should have used the Ultra Ball. Should have used the Ultra Ball first. Yep. Should have used the Ultra Ball. Okay. Gonna use the Fisherman now. That'll be my supporter for the turn. And I am now going to Mega Evolve and pass. My opponent didn't do anything. He might not have the Spirit Link for Mega Alakazam immediately. If he does Mega Evolve, he might pass the turn. Not having Spinarak and potentially Ariados might end up hurting us. Not entirely sure. The Floatstone Shaymin is definitely useful to prevent the damage counter placement. There's a Spirit Link. There's a Mega. So my opponent probably holding on to a lot of things. in his hand. That's why he only attached and passed. And yeah, we'll see what he has in store for us this turn. He needs another energy or the stadium in order to KO us, or rather to damage us. He hopes to put the damage onto the bench Sceptile, but Mega Sceptile doesn't receive any damage from ability, so actually never mind. I completely forgot about that, and that simply means this is game, I think. He's gonna deal 10 damage. Neither Crobat nor Mega Alakazam can place damage counters onto Mega Sceptile EX. So I completely forgot about that, and he's only gonna deal 10 damage. And then next turn he will deal 40, I believe, yep. And then next turn he will deal a more respectable amount. But it's still a 3-hit KO. Wow, he's gonna Lysander up the Sceptile, okay. Uses Send Force. Okay, so that's problematic. That's definitely problematic. Although I do get to attach and retreat. Yeah, that's best case scenario. I get to use Aroma of Gratitude. First time ever I'm using that ability. I generally don't want to get rid of my other energy, especially because I cannot attack at the moment. So I'm just gonna pass. Well, okay. Keep making a few mistakes here and there. You have used Ultra Ball and gone for a Mega Sceptile and Mega Evolved. That was the best play. Now my opponent does Sycamore, gets rid of a switch and what? And then? I know a turn, okay. So yeah, we didn't see colorless on my opponent's deck, so he's not using Shaymin, so not the most serious or competitive deck, if you will. But yeah, Mega Sceptile's ability, a real game changer for us at the moment. A real game changer for us. If I have 50 damage on me, he deals 160 damage plus the 50. Wow, he might actually only 4-hit KO Mega Sceptile EX because he'll be 10 damage short. Wow, that's really cool. That gives us a lot of time to heal up, to do a lot of things. Now he promotes Zubat, probably gonna deal. Oh no, he needs a stadium. He's not gonna do anything. Okay, so we get a free KO into Zubat. We top deck the Spirit Link, so our mistake from the previous turn doesn't really matter. I get to Aroma of Gratitude once again. I could Fisherman for a single energy, but it's not really necessary at this point. Just gonna find the other Mega Sceptile. That pretty much almost ensures that the Mega Sceptile will survive, especially if I find just one energy to power it up. No grass, but no big deal. I get to KO, and yeah, Aroma of Gratitude slowly negating all my opponent's efforts from the first few turns. As you can tell, I'm still a little bit sick, guys. Only with cough though. Everything else that I was suffering from is pretty much gone, so I'm really happy about that. Hopefully I don't get sick anymore during this year. And yeah, now my opponent opts to target Shaymin-EX, so maybe he has a Lysander to KO it. He's gonna super scoop up. Nope. Whips it. Does he have the Lysander? If he has the Lysander, he does get to KO the Shaymin-EX, but he opts to Sycamore instead, so the 3 damage counters will end up being wasted because I will get to heal off, and then that means he needs more damage counters on the Shaymin. Counter stadiums, no big deal. Generally no big deal. But it's really sad that if we had Ariados, we could be 2-hit KOing the Mega Alakazam EXs, but because we do not have Ariados, we cannot. Now the DCE chooses to un-Mega Evolve the active and use Suppression to place 3 damage counters. That makes sense, because it deals more damage than Mega Alakazam was dealing currently. But okay, first off I use Aroma of Gratitude to heal off Shaymin. Wait, what? Why? Oh. So Shaymin, wow. Mega Sceptile cannot be opponent's Pokemon's abilities. Why did Shaymin not heal Mega Sceptile? That's definitely a bug. That is most definitely a bug here. Now, I'm gonna attach the DC to Hoopa just so that I am ensured I can retreat later on. I will counter Stadium, and I generally feel like just using Sycamore at this moment. The only thing that hurts me is discarding the Verse Seeker. Everything else I really don't mind. To get some energy to prevent any shenanigans, but no Ultra Ball, no nothing to find the Spinnerack, which is unfortunate. Do I attach both? Yeah, sure, why not? But yeah, that's definitely a bug, the fact that my own Shaymin-EX didn't heal Mega Sceptile. The game is probably coded into Mega Sceptile not getting affected by any abilities, but that also means my own abilities. Places damage onto Shaymin once again. At this point, Shaymin is not really a threat. The Mega Sceptiles are. And this upcoming turn, okay, he uses N, so no more Floatstone for me. But if I get one Grass Energy or a Verse Seeker to reuse Fisherman, neither of which I get, should be able to heal off the active Sceptile. But yeah, you can see how dealing 100 damage might end up hurting us so much. So much. And not having Shaymin's ability available to us for our own Sceptile EXs might end up hurting us once again. But yeah, the biggest problem is hit KOing Alakazam EX. Now my opponent made a mistake. He selected Mega Sceptile, so no damage was dealt to the bench and no damage was dealt to the active, so he completely wasted a Mega Alakazam EX drop and a high Super Devolution Spray or whatever the thing is called. Just Evolution Spray. That's only his own fault. Now this is annoying, because I do not get to heal off with Shaymin my own Sceptile. Yeah, he realizes now that he should be using Suppression perhaps instead of Send Force, and he got to heal off. He got to heal off his Mega Alakazam EX. Oh crap, the energy on Hoopa. Okay, first off, Aroma of Gratitude. Really bad that my own Sceptile doesn't get healed off. I definitely need Spinnerack here though. Definitely need Spinnerack. So I'm gonna do that. Now I could Hex Maniac. Yeah, I'm gonna Hex Maniac. And okay, 6 damage counters means he can one-hit KO with Mega Alakazam, right? Yeah, 100. Yeah, he does one-hit KO, so I'm gonna have to retreat, attack with this guy. No damage, thankfully, but it'd be really nice to. Yeah, if my Mega Sceptile currently only had 1 damage counter instead of 3 because of Aroma of Gratitude, his Mega Alakazam would be a lot less threatening. But if we manage to find Ariados, we could potentially start threatening my opponent a lot more. But I think it's gonna be a losing battle for us. I generally think it's gonna be a losing battle for us because he has so many Super Scoop Ups and healing cards and everything. He's played 2 Super Scoop Ups, 2 Devolution Sprays, probably has an AZ somewhere. And he has flipped at least 1 Heads, not entirely sure if he has flipped twice. He does choose to Mega Evolve, otherwise his Alakazam was in threat of getting KO'd. He has a ton of energy as well. And yeah, because I did not attach an energy to the bench Sceptile, I did not get to heal off and prevent exactly this scenario. Exactly that scenario, that particular scenario. Okay, so I'm gonna promote Shaymin, but have to wait to use its ability until I put it on the bench. I now top deck an energy. Gonna attach the energy there, and I'm gonna end my opponent. If we find Ariados, there we go. Thank you. We are going to be in a good position here because we do have abilities right now, and we get rid of one Mega Alakazam EX thanks to those 10 damage counters, or 1 damage counter extra. Now first let me retreat, then I'm gonna use Aroma of Gratitude, heal off Shaymin-EX, heal off Hoopa, and I get to use Jagged Saber. Now is my Super Art in the discard pile? No. So should be able to find another Mega Sceptile. Why does it keep asking me to attach energy if I don't have energy? But I do have the Verse Seeker to recover some grass energy in the discard pile. To find a Lysander, I do find a Sycamore. But we are still in a very, very difficult position. He promotes Wolfet though. I do not mind that at all. He's gonna attach, he's gonna bench Zubat. Does he have a stadium already? He's gonna Skyloft for the stadium, okay. So we have an important decision to make here. We should Lysander something up. Probably the Alakazam EX. Okay. Initially I'm gonna counter Stadium. I'm gonna attach the Spirit Link to the Ariados. Doesn't really make a difference. I'm gonna Lysander up the Alakazam. Well, actually probably should have Lysandered up the Hoopa, in fact. I'm gonna poison both of us. And then the energy I'm not gonna attach just yet. Just gonna do Jagged Saber. And there we go. Okay. So the Mega Alakazam on the bench is really threatening us. It's really, really threatening us. We do have the Verse Seeker to Lysander up potentially the Zubat for our last prize. If he doesn't Mega Evolve. Well, even if he does Mega Evolve, as long as he doesn't retreat, should be okay. Now, yeah, he cannot use Strong Slash, which is not good. And he passes. Perfect. So we get 2 more prize cards. And there's another Lysander. So what I'm actually gonna do is I'm gonna Verse Seeker this time around. I'm gonna use Fisherman. And I'm gonna power up the Sceptile EX. Because that guarantees we have a KO on the Wolfet, we have a KO on the Golbat. So unless my opponent can get rid of both, and I'm gonna attach a DCE to Shaymin, just so that I can potentially retreat with absolutely anything into my Sceptile. So we get the KO onto the Alakazam. We are now down to 1 prize, and either Wolfet or Golbat can be KO'd by the Sceptile. And the opponent hasn't attached any energy, so he might not even have the KO with Mega Alakazam EX. And yeah, if that's the case, even Mega Sceptile can KO the Golbat for the win. Well, not anymore, because now that's a Crobat. Forgot to use Shaymin-EX's ability, and he does, wow, he does have the energy, but that's fine. I mean, I'd rather him have that than an N or something like that. I'd rather him have the Crobat and the energy than an N and the energy. But yeah, this is game because we have the KO on the Crobat or on the Wolfhead with the Lysander. We even top deck a Floatstone just in case something went wrong, and I get to use Strong Slash for the win here. So wow, pretty pretty close match this one. We're both very slow and steady, and I believe Shaymin-EX's ability would have been more useful if not for the bug that we just noticed that someone should report, or maybe someone has already reported it. And yeah, that's gonna be it for today, guys. 2 wins, not too bad. The first game was pretty quick, but this one was definitely very long and methodical. And that's it from me, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please leave a like on the video if you can, subscribe if you haven't yet, and I will see you guys tomorrow for more Spanish action of this video, or on Friday for more English action. Alright, thank you guys, and bye bye.